So Highland Noise Podcast, I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
I'm Connor.
I'm Brian, and we're from the band Frame and Mantle.
There are some questions today about the new album, Well of Light. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to it so far?
Pretty pleased.
Yeah, very, very happy with it.
That's good to hear.
Hell yeah.
We were both really digging the record, jammed it before the interview, and it fucking rocks.
Damn straight, yeah.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
In terms of the name of the album, I came up with that kind of just a dumb little thing. I was going to a festival in Indianapolis last year. I was meeting up with a friend from college, and we booked a hotel in downtown Indianapolis. And on the hotel app, it like lets you like choose the room.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking on the app, and some of the rooms were by this. It was called a light well, which I guess is an architectural term for like a space in like a building that allows light to come in where it otherwise wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of a neat term. I never heard of that. And then in my head, I was just kind of like, doing what my brain does and like taking the word apart. And I thought of well of light, and I was like, oh, I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. So that was kind of the dumb little story behind the name, at least.
Oh, that's dope.
But the album art is based on, it's called the Lusheen House, and it's in Ireland. So it's this abandoned manor that the owners apparently like abandoned it because they thought it was haunted. And it's been on a lot of like ghost hunting shows, like Unsolved Mysteries and stuff like that. So I just thought it was a cool idea, and we kind of wanted to just capture the essence of like, I don't know, the ghosts of your past or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's dope. Hell yeah. So can you guys tell us a little bit about the writing process for the album?
In the past, like for our previous album, I came into it well into the writing process. So like a lot of the songs were like done and finalized, and when I came in, it was mostly figuring out like lyrics and melodies and finishing the songs out. And with this album, we kind of started writing it in like what, 2023, right, Brian?
Yeah.
And we were still at the edge of like lockdown / like work from home.
Yeah.
So Brian would send like recordings of stuff that he's been working on, and for a while I would like, especially with one of the earlier ones, like I would just listen to it and be like, oh, I can hear this trumpet part in here, and record that and send it back. And then like late 2023 and into 2024, we started to get together in person and do more of like, I don't know if you would call it traditional, but like, sitting in a room together, playing the songs, hashing stuff out, making modifications. Yeah, it was definitely way more collaborative than the previous writing sessions.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I know, Connor, you mentioned that the last record you kind of came in towards the tail end. Was this your first time like with the full writing process from start to finish with the band?
Kind of like we had like an EP in between these two albums that was a little bit in between those two writing processes,
Okay, that makes sense.
That was a lot of like lockdown era stuff, so we weren't able to get together as much, and it was like mainly me and my brother Mark, who's our drummer, just like working on stuff, whenever we were able to get together during like, that 2020 period. So that was like where a lot of those EP songs came from. So yeah, this was definitely more collaborative, with everyone together in the same room.
Love to
That's
hear
great.
it. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So what song off the album took the longest to write, and which one is each of your own personal favorite?
I feel like the longest to write, to like be like, we're done with this, was probably either Changeling or Silent Film.
Yeah, I feel like Changeling took a while because that was just like the first 3 minutes of that song is an instrumental, and we had that like jammed out pretty well, and then we were like kind of just feeling like it wasn't really like a complete song, so it took a while to figure out that ending part, and that didn't really come together until towards the end of the writing process. So
Yeah, and like I think with both of those songs, it was a lot of like me going over to your place and we just sit and like listen to it and be like, what sounds right? What do we do? And like I would, option a couple ideas and we'd see how it worked,
mhm.
that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I guess choosing a favorite song though is pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
I like obviously all of them.
I hope so.
As you should.
I feel like my favorite right now, at least, is Green Grove Zone because we just started playing that live recently within the last couple months, last few shows, and I've been loving playing that one. I actually do some backup vocals, and it's kind of cool to do that. I haven't really done much of that, so
That's dope.
I would say that's probably my favorite too, just because it's like, I don't know, it feels a lot different from a lot of the stuff we've written, and like Brian has said before that it's like kind of hinting at a direction that we might try to go to in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Exciting.
Love it.
So how did the track list for Alan come about? Did you guys write the opening for the opener, close the big closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
I know Brian has like a decent explanation for this, but it's interesting because the opener and the closers are both like songs that Brian had written with the band like years before, and we kind of like dug them up during our like finalizing writing process, and they were very clearly like that was their position in the album, but then he kind of had his own process for the rest of it.
yeah, I guess when it came to like sequencing it, I kind of like to think about structuring it in terms of like an LP, like a side A, side B. And even though we're not, as of right now, planning to release this on vinyl, I still think, I wanted to like kind of keep that idea. So just having like a good, like, track one on both sides. So like it would technically be like track 6 would be like track 1 on side B. So we were just like, thinking about how we wanted to like sequence it like that. But yeah, I think it was pretty obvious that like Well of Light as track 1 and In the Absence of Sound as track 10. I think that just was pretty obvious to all of us. I don't know, it just kind of like sets the tone really well with Well of Light, and then just the ending of In the Absence of Sound just comes together like and kind of puts like a period on the end of the album in a way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And would you guys be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating the record?
I would say like near the beginning of the writing process for this one, I got laid off from my job. It wasn't for a long time because I like reapplied and got my own
rehired.
Welcome back.
Yeah. But it was definitely a period of like confusion and a little bit of panic for me for a while, and then settling back into that. I don't know, just stretching my songwriting legs a little bit more since when you go through something like that, it's kind of like, what do you really have to lose if you've already lost something? So like maybe try some new things, try things that you are afraid to commit to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to what was going on. I mean, I had just finished grad school not too long before that.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Just felt like it was a nice burst of creativity because like I'd not really been able to do much writing for a while. I was, really busy with my graduate program and stuff like that. So it was just nice. It was like, yeah, like a very productive time. Like, and it was like what, a year, and we wrote like 10, 12 songs like in that span of time. It was just very creative period. So I think that's just where my head was. I was feeling just excited to write.
Sounds like you both had like found yourselves with newfound free time, one for one reason, one for another reason, and that kind of sparked their creativity.
Yeah.
That's good.
I haven't really thought about it too much, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So how do you guys recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should you do in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is it a workout album, party album? What do you guys personally recommend?
I would say headphones is a good first listening option. We try to layer in a lot of stuff, especially like the biggest difference between like our live show and the recordings is there's a lot of harmonies on the recordings. Like I sing a lot of harmonies. That's kind of like my thing vocally, is like I naturally gravitate towards adding layers of harmonies to lyric parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree totally. Yeah, like a nice pair of headphones, or even whatever pair of headphones you have, could be
Yeah.
buds or whatever, Yeah, it's a it's definitely a sit down and absorb it kind of album. But there's some songs you could obviously play it like, you know.
Yeah, like Green Grove Zone is a jam that you can just throw in the car and like
Mm-hmm.
rock out to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Damn straight. And this one should be super, super quick off the top of your heads. I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, 6 total. No more, no less.
Ambitious,
Mm-hmm.
expansive, and dynamic.
Those are
Ooh,
good.
Okay.
solid.
I would say dark, screamy, and hopeful-ish.
I like
Hell
the
yeah.
ish at the end of that. That's wonderful.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
I don't know that I'd want anyone to feel a certain type of way. I mean, I said the hopeful-ish thing, like that's maybe a hint towards that.
Mhm.
But I mean, let the song tell you what to feel.
Yeah, that's a perfectly valid answer. We get that all the time. That it's like, I don't want to tell someone how to feel when listening to my art. My art is meant to evoke whatever emotion that is that
Exactly.
that they get.
There's
Yeah.
there's a couple songs on there that have like some of the other people who've reviewed it or listened to it have said that it made them feel a certain type of way, and I was like, not what I was going for, but valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you guys able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
It was overall really positive. I struggle to think of like any real challenges aside from like the actual scheduling that we had to figure out, like the actual sessions. I feel like it took a while to land on when we were actually going to like record and like how we were going to break it up, because in the past we had mainly done like we had blocked off like a certain amount of time and that's all the tracking we were going to do, but with this one it ended up being spread out over like 6 months or so. So it was a little more like logistically challenging.
Yeah.
So that, I guess that's the biggest thing I can think of. I don't know if Connor has another.
Yeah, I would say like the biggest like shakeup that we encountered was, it's not really like, it didn't affect us too much, but the recording studio that we had been going with, like they started out in one location and then they like sold that building and moved into a different location. So
Tracking, yeah.
yeah, so like parts of the album, like a lot of the, well, yeah, most of the lyrics, most of the singing and trumpet were recorded in the second location, and all the instrumentals were recorded in the first location. And I would say too, like, I guess this is a positive I would bring. Like, I asked my friend Bill, he's a shout out, he's in a band called Septic Idols and Zeta Zeros. He came in and gave us some, like mixing notes for a few of the songs. Just he's like a friend that happened to have like really good production ear. He does a lot of stuff on his own, so thought that would be a cool value add to the album.
Absolutely. That's really dope.
Yeah, I love that. I know you guys mentioned, this time around you were recording across like the span of 6 months, whereas previously you've blocked out the time, gotten in the studio, banged everything out in one go. Did you guys struggle at all with like the alternating headspace of like, being in the studio versus, then having to go back to real life and then going back in the studio and kind of flip-flopping between those two sides of things?
For me, sometimes, I mean, like we were doing some sessions like after work and stuff, and it's sometimes you just have like a day where it's a little bit draining and you're like,
Mhm.
but you know, it took just a little bit of an adjustment, like, just getting back into the studio headspace. And once I'm in the studio, after a few minutes, I'm like, okay, I love being here, and I'm super just it melts away all the other
You're locked in.
whatever crap goes on in your life.
Yeah.
I guess for me,
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I definitely have a lot of the time where my job is too stressful and I leave work and I'm like grumpy. I'm like, I gotta go do this thing next. And then we get in there and like start working on it. And yeah, it does just melt away and like you feel a lot happier.
That's good. Hell yeah.
That's good.
So for this question, I want you guys to picture you're on tour at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
I'm probably going for like the best looking hoagie I can find. And if
Ooh.
not, I don't know, combos are good if you're on tour. Just something that's in a bag that you can munch on.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I love those Zapp's voodoo chips. If I ever
Mm.
Those are the best chips.
Those are
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm never passing those up.
Yeah, absolutely not. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
I don't know. Like, part of me wants to just say something silly like a lasagna because there's so many layers.
Yeah, no, that is a really good one. Or an onion.
Or like,
Yeah, hell yeah.
Shrek answer.
I was gonna say Shrek.
Or like a quiche, because like the the drums and bass, they're pretty solid like base or like foundation, and then you fill the rest in with a random flavorful savory things.
Okay, I'm letting you cook. I'm letting you.
Yeah.
It seems like you're onto something.
You're
I'm
cooking.
fucking with
I
it.
like cooking, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And for the last couple questions, we're gonna shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
I've not ever thought about the possibility of dying, so
Well,
Well,
what's your favorite meal?
Not to get super deep, but
Yeah.
I mean, I really love fried rice. That's like one of my favorite things to eat.
Mhm.
If I had that, it would probably need a like tall Sapporo draft to go with it.
Yeah. Solid.
I don't know. I'd probably just go like something like comfort food. I don't know. Maybe like a sort of like pot roast mashed potato deal. I don't know. That just sounds like comforting to me.
Yeah.
Take it back to my childhood and just have a glass of like chocolate milk with it or something. I don't know.
Damn.
I don't
That's a
even
crazy
think
combo. That's insane, actually. You had me. I was like, oh, that is so comforting and like homey. And then you said milk, and then you lost me, and I'm gone. That's it.
I don't know.
God.
It's just wrong. But you know what, man? You have to eat it, not me. So I support you.
I mean, he doesn't have to clean it up either.
Yeah.
True. Yeah,
that.
just one little sip, all right? And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Probably the land of Oz because it would be whimsical and vaguely non-threatening.
Yeah. Aside from like the Wicked Witch of the West, right? She can like
she's-
chill over there.
He's done for it. It's fine. There's a whole other. You ever looked at those maps? That's pretty
Sure,
big.
Exactly. There's so much other land and like space to explore. You don't have to be all up in her space. It's fine.
Yeah.
Stay away from the deadly desert. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the name, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm in the middle of playing Cyberpunk 2077 right now, and as long as I get to come back, I would love to mess around in that crazy Night City world. That just seems.
Just wait a few years, man.
right? We're getting there. Keanu Reeves, you know.
Oh yeah.
Just hang out with him in my head for a week.
Exactly, yeah.
And I've not asked the last question. Every single person we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
I would have to say like a seafoam turquoise green. I still have a Jaguar that is that color, and my cables are still that color, and I have a fun picture on my Instagram of like my nails painted that color holding the guitar with the cables, and
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
My bass, that's the color of my bass. And yeah, I love that bass. So that's a great color. But my all-time favorite is definitely like forest green, like a nice deep
Mm.
green. So
Green is a good palette.
Yeah.
Green solid.
Both
Mhm.
solid picks. So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
just the album, it's called Well of Light. It's out on all the streaming platforms. And here in Pittsburgh, we're playing a couple shows at the end of the month. It's July, so end of July. The 26th is at Fermata Brewing in Ambridge, and then the 28th is at Mr. Roboto.
Where we saw Oso Oso last night.
Yeah, they were-
Oh, shout out Oso
Oh,
Oso.
yeah, shout out
Fucking
Oso
love
Oso.
them. Yeah.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you for listening, guys. It's been Connor and Brian from Frame and Mantle, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.